Welcome back to youtube.com/Geek Aloud. This is G.E.A. Game Enforcement Agency. Troy's mic's no longer working at the moment, so give it some while. We'll be back.
Hello. Almost ready. We were almost late, Sean. I don't know if you noticed. Hello, welcome everybody. G.E.A. episode 6. I'm excited. Thank you for those coming on the journey with us. I like to see those numbers growing every week. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it, and I know Steve does as well. Steve, how are you, mate?
Mate, I'm very good, very good. Just a little bit late, like, 24 hours late, but that's okay. We're Mondays, 8 p.m.-ish. That does include Tuesdays now, so.
And pretty much any time during the week, we can go live with Gaming Enforcement Agency, and then it becomes 8 p.m. Monday.
That's right.
All right, now, let's get into it this week. Now, I've got a button to press. How does this show work again? I remember. I hit this one. Game notes. Game notes. Game notes 1 this week. Everybody, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. I've put another 6 hours. I'm going to say 6 hours into the game. Phenomenal. It has done nothing but continue to impress me with Steve, you were right earlier. I think it was 2 episodes back. You said that the future biomes were better. And look at this one on screen now, man. This very Returnal Biome 2 looking biome in Guardians.
Yes. Mate, this game, my God.
It's beautiful. The dialogue is fantastic. We said that last week. The new one I've got for you this week, Steve, what they've impressed me with this week in the Guardians, the way they use their 4 other team members to point you around in the world. Like, you almost don't need the detective vision, like the R3 scan.
No, not at all.
Because they just, walk the characters over to the points of interest, but they do it so gently and so subtly. I never feel like they're rubbing it in my face. Like, it's way better than dealing with the HUD or the UI. My question to you, Steve, can you think of anything else we could offload off the HUD or UI by adding a teammate or 2 into any other game?
Oh, off the top of my head, you throw me under the bus here because I haven't really thought about it. I'm just thinking about this.
Let me tell you this, Steve. I've been thinking about this one for 3 days and haven't come up with an answer.
Oh, good. All I can think of is in terms of HUD and stuff, maybe like your health meter, like a Dead Space kind of thing or whatever, instead of having stuff down the bottom. I don't know, but
that's a great call, man. Yeah, that is another example of exactly what I'm talking about, man. You've nailed that. That's perfect.
But just watching the stream, I was just reminded of the funny bit where Rocket gets wet at the start of that level and just his reaction to being in water. And that actually plays up really big in the story, like at the end of this level, I think. But the whole story and the characters of this game, like I finished the game yesterday morning, I want to say, and the stories just stay strong the whole way through. Like I think I mentioned to you that there was some performance issues in the final 2 levels and stuff, which
now wait, sorry, let me hold you up right there. When you say performance issues, you're referring to like stammering frame rate, not actor performances. Frame rate. Yeah,
no,
the performance didn't fall off, is what I was clarifying.
Yeah, no, just literally frame rate drops. Like the characters and stuff, all fine. It's just for whatever reason, I don't know why. Like there's a bit happening on screen, like there's space and a whole bunch, but it's not much more than what's happening in the rest of the game. But for some reason, I don't know whether they just didn't test it enough. But those frames, I was dropping to maybe 10 frames per second at some points.
It's if you look at the line of trophies, like the rarity of trophies.
Yeah,
I honestly get the feeling they QA up to the 50% mark. From 100 to 50%, what people are mostly going to see, they QA. And then it feels like if the trophy rarity is below 50%, it's like, they haven't even bothered.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is I actually saw a 6 gig patch came through for it, like, I think the same afternoon that I finished it. So I finished in the morning at 6. So I haven't had a chance to check it. I've started a new game plus. So,
is it that good? Now that speaks volumes.
Yeah, so I think I might go through again, but I just really enjoyed the story. Like, just incredible art direction. Like the art direction, the visuals and stuff for a game that, no one sort of really saw coming for starters. It was announced at E3 this year, just dropped on us like this. Had some sort of mixed feelings on the previews and stuff for it. Then the game drops, gets really good reviews, and it's like everyone's like, Avengers who? This is how you do an MCU game.
100%, man. Do you think the folks behind the one we won't mention, do you think they hate this game?
Yeah, they may do. They probably, because I believe the ones that probably made.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The core team that made the one that no one likes.
So you're talking about CD, yeah? Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah. Do we even know? You know, to be what, 400, 500 people maybe? I'm totally guessing at that point, but somewhere around there.
And they're known for very strong single player games, being the Tomb Raider games. So I believe they would have had a certain idea of the game they wanted to make, but the powers that be have told them to make, a multiplayer focused game, which was the detriment to their game. So the campaign for Avengers was actually quite good, but the fact that they had to weave in all that multiplayer stuff was just.
And then the XP grind was just nope.
Oh, just ridiculous. Whereas this game showed that single player MCU games, like based on a franchise that's not as big as the Avengers, but the Guardians of the Galaxy and the characters in this, by the end of this game, you are more in love with the Guardians characters than you were with them in the movies almost, because you spend so much longer.
Yes.
You spend 15 odd hours with them in a game, whereas in the movies you've got max 5 hours all up over 2 movies.
That's very true. And also I feel like the banter is a lot, like they do get, stressed at times and stuff, but generally speaking, they are more upbeat in the game, so they appeal to me more.
Absolutely, and the way the game works, by the time you get to the end of it, like you literally go through like them sort of at the early stages of being like the team, and then sort of that middle stage where they're working stuff out, and then sort of by the end of it, like I don't really want to spoil it, but like the fact that you see them all sort of coming together and banding together, and this isn't really a spoiler, but just to give you an example of how cool it is, you know how you've got to direct Groot to like make bridges or direct Gamora to like cut stuff?
Yep.
So towards the end of the game, they just start doing it themselves because you're more of a team. You don't have to tell them to do it; they just know to do it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome.
I was just like,
can't wait to see that. That's great.
Such a small little touch to be like, they just get it. Like they're becoming more of a team, so you don't need to tell them to do it. They just do. I was just blown away by that small little fact.
Yeah, that's great, man. I can't wait to experience that. That sounds great. Now, have you noticed in this footage that I got the same crew outfits for everyone except Drax?
Oh, nice. See, what's funny, I don't think I've got, I reckon out of all the costumes that I've got, which is most of it, I think the only one I don't have all the outfits for is Star-Lord. I don't think I've got that outfit for, I reckon, maybe looking at Groot, I maybe got it for Groot. I don't think the rest have it either. I like that skin. I rock that skin for Drax for most of the game, actually.
Oh, now I came across briefly the like fully grown adult mullet denim jacket.
Oh, so did I.
That is the best. That was so funny. But I had to turn it off because I was laughing at inappropriate moments in cutscenes. It was ruining the narrative for me. I could their dramatic beats weren't hitting because I was too busy laughing at what he was wearing.
So, well, if you like matching outfits, just wait till later in the game. There's a sort of an Avengers moment with outfits, and there's some pretty cool stuff. So just wait, you'll love it.
Excellent, man. I love it. I love everything about this game, and I cannot wait to get back into it, mate. You're done with it, but you're New Game Plusing it. How far into that New Game Plus are you?
Oh, very, very early. Just sort of checked out the start just because I wanted to get back in and sort of just sort of stay with the characters again because the ending was so strong. Like, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but this is like they do it so well. It's ridiculous.
I can't wait to see it. But then it's like we watched a movie the other day, and then like immediately once the film finished, my boys put it on again, and I can totally see me doing that with this Guardians game. Like the narrative is so good, I totally understand like running straight back into another run.
Yeah, and I don't know, like some of the people have sort of, dissed on the combat and stuff, being the fact that you don't do a lot.
Really?
Like, I love the combat. I
think it's great that you have to use your team. That's perfect.
Yeah, and I really like the way they use the guns. Like by the end of it, when you've got your 4 different powers and how you've got to use those different powers to take out different enemies.
The first 2, so don't tell me the second 2.
Okay, I won't tell you. But they use them in puzzles. They use them in the combat. Granted, the combat at the end gets very chuggy when it hits that like 10 frames per second. It can be rather frustrating. But if they fix that in patches, like it's almost a perfect MCU game.
Yeah, well, I would say it is the best MCU game we have. I would say this unseated the the Wolverine game from like 2008, like Xbox 360. I love that game. That game was phenomenal. That was previously MCU my number one, but this has taken it.
Agreed, mate. But I'm always going to call it and say this is some of the best voice acting and writing in a game I've actually played for quite a while as well. I'm actually like laughing out loud at some of the stuff these guys are saying. And it's very hard to make someone laugh in a video game, but they just nail it constantly.
I wonder if they've taken many, and I haven't noticed this at all, I'm just thinking here, but I wonder if they took many notes off South Park. Those 2 South Park games were the first games in the longest time to actually do comedy well for the entire campaign. And I think so far Guardians have, and it sounds like you're saying they nail it the whole way. So I wonder from like a writing credit standpoint, who wrote this Guardians? Like,
Yeah.
could they have been the actual film writers that did the dialogue, and that's why it turned out so well, I wonder?
Yeah, well, no, because I know they based this more off the comic book stuff. So whether that came from the comic writers as well, I don't know.
Well, there you have it. These, they could very well be tropes from the
And yeah, I dare say we'll probably see a sequel to this game, and I reckon the sequel will probably have some form of like Final Fantasy VII remake thing where you can, even though you direct your companions, I reckon you might actually be able to switch to them and take control of them in the sequel. So,
I hope not. I love
that's the thing. I'm exactly with you, but I know that was one of the major. Like most people say, it'd be so good if you could just play as these characters. But like, I like being able to play as one character and upgrade that character. And
100%, man.
I think that's what makes it Guardians.
Yes, exactly. They've nailed the team dynamic, and to enable you to inhabit the other members of your team, they destroy it. They totally sacrifice all the gains they made in the first game. So I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, and I came to even like initially, even with the Star-Lord, like just the way he looks initially, I was like, he takes a little bit of a while. He's got this slick back blonde hair. And so by the end of it, though, you actually really like this Star-Lord.
Yeah, well, I'm like, I think I just finished chapter 9. I either just finished chapter 9 or I just started chapter 9. I'm pretty sure I just finished chapter 9. And it's just phenomenal. The whole thing is just gold. And Peter, you're right. Peter Quill looks how Peter Quill looks in my mind now. Like, I imagine when I go back and watch the Guardians film, I'm going to be annoyed that it's Chris Pratt. And I love Chris Pratt.
I know. It's weird because I actually watched the Guardians movie with the little fella the other day, and I was like, I was more, and they mentioned things in the movies that I wouldn't have picked up on initially, but because I've now played the game, they mentioned like Nova Corps and stuff, which I like. I probably wouldn't have even thought anything about it until playing the game because they actually expand on those sort of characters and the world building way more in the game.
Yes, they do. A lot of touchstones there. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't played it yet, by all means do it. And you can bet we're coming back to this one come Game of the Year discussion times in, a month or so?
Absolutely, it's going to be up there.
Then next for the game notes today, we have, sorry about this one. It starts in black, my apologies, but it's Call of Duty Vanguard, I promise. It's about to be an online multiplayer match. The only thing I've played is the multiplayer. I'm yet to start the campaign. I had to get a few other ones off my plate first. We're getting there, though. I'm close to starting the Call of Duty campaign, but this is the multiplayer map. And although it's a new map and they've got new weapons and it is the old Call of Duty multiplayer, you pick it up and you're like, yep, this is Call of Duty multiplayer. And I've spent maximum 3 hours, between 2 and 3 hours. And so, I don't know, maybe I've seen, 8 maps maybe in that time?
Yeah,
all new maps, and there is nothing in any of them that make me want to go back and play it again. Like, there is nothing new in this Call of Duty that's speaking to me on any level that's going to get me to play it the way I played the last one.
Yeah, wow, that says a lot, and it's probably a reason that I haven't even purchased the game yet.
And a wise decision, Steve, I would suggest at this point. Yeah, well, I'm keen to check out the campaign, but honestly, I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked anything up. I don't know anything about it, but I do always love my Call of Duty campaigns. In my mind, they're the James Bond action film that you get every November.
Absolutely. Well, as in terms of James Bond movies, they usually go for 2.5 hours.
I think the last one went for 3, didn't it?
Yeah, well, so about the same time as same amount of time as this campaign apparently goes for.
No, surely not. No, Call of Duty campaigns are like 15, 16 hours.
Not this one, Troy.
No!
Yeah, by all accounts, 4 hours to finish the campaign. Apparently, it's a good campaign, just very short, which sucks because I'm first to admit that I generally will purchase the Call of Duty games for the campaign before the multi.
Yeah, 100% me. How long's Call of Duty been going for? 16 years or something at this point?
Yeah, something like that.
Every single November, I've bought it for the campaign. Buy it for the campaign, stick around for the multiplayer if it's any good.
That's right. Yep, I finished campaign before I even duck into multiplayer generally, but this time around, I'm like, I just don't think it's worth the price of admission just for me to play, a campaign. Like, I think the last time I did this was probably Call of Duty World War II. I don't think I actually bought on day one either and just borrowed it from a mate and eventually finished the campaign and gave him the game back. So
I don't know if you noticed on the channel, but we have a Let's Install, and I did do it off a physical disc, mate. So you're welcome to borrow it at some point.
Oh, well, there you go. Next time in the studio, mate, I will be borrowing that off you.
Perfect. I must make sure I get my 4 hours in and finish that campaign before that happens.
Yeah, so yeah, I was just saying, but the campaign apparently it's not too bad. It's literally most of the criticism thrown at it has been the length of it. So I'm like, if it is just a popcorn thing that I haven't paid for and I get 4 hours of enjoyment out of it, fine. I'll give you some comments on it when I've played it. But definitely for multiplayer, I've already said Halo is going to be a multiplayer game, and it looks, going by your review of the multiplayer, I dare say I've got no need to play it.
Yeah, no, there's just play last year's. It's the exact same thing with new maps. It's really they have done nothing. It's Guardians redefined the genre. It was fantastic. Call of Duty,
yes,
none of that for them.
Oh, speaking of Guardians, Sean in the chat has just asked, have I been rickrolled yet in Guardians of the Galaxy? Yes, I have had Rick Astley pop up in my gameplay, yes.
I have no idea whether I've seen that moment yet or not, because my boys think it's hilarious to rickroll me with Google in the living room.
It's not so much rickroll, it's more so just the song playing in the background.
Well, that's what I mean. My boys constantly put it off.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think it pops up when you do one of those, like the multiple, where you come and have the chat with them and you come back out and fight, the song will play then at some point.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, that was the other question. Sorry. Look, I can do this. Now that I'm talking about Guardians again, I'm re-rolling the footage. One quick question I had for you, Steve, was are there any trophies in the New Game Plus mode? Like, can you unlock something by playing New Game Plus, or is it just to see the story again?
That is a good call. I don't know. I don't think any of it's tied to New Game Plus. I think it's all tied to like collections of things and doing like combat moves with your guys. But you can go back through and do chapter select and pick up anything you've missed as well. So but the only problem with chapter select, I think when you go back into it, you've only got the powers you've unlocked at that point. So
sure.
I don't know if I had it on PlayStation, I might actually consider going the platinum. But as we've spoken about before, for some reason the 1,000 Xbox achievement points doesn't quite do it for me in terms of the taste.
I hear you, man.
But if it is the type of game that, I could definitely see myself going back and do it because I did enjoy it so much. So
yeah, well, speaking about how good the story was, I haven't even looked at the trophy list for Guardians in fear of spoilers. Like, I'm just going to play it through and enjoy the story and then go and see if I have a horrible mess to clean up after myself.
Oh, absolutely. There's only one bit in the story. Well, it's not even part of the story. There's a bit at the end. It's rather cringe. You'll know exactly what it is. And I look forward to your thoughts on it.
Rather cringe? That reminds me of Game Notes 3, Deathloop. Hello, Deathloop, my old friend. Now, I can finally articulate for you, Steve, why this game is not clicking for me. You know how there's, what is there, 8, I want to say, main story threads? Or is there 7?
Yep.
Because there's probably the number of visionaries, isn't there? And I don't know how many there are.
Yeah.
7 or 8. And then when you get to the end of their quest chain, they drop, whatever gun it is. Here's the epic pistol or the epic sniper rifle or the epic shotgun. On 3 occasions, I've killed the boss and then died before exiting and lost the gun. I've had my 3rd death, end of the day, start of the day again. But the quest is done. As soon as you kill him, it ticks off the quest in your log, and then it assumes you have all those high-powered weapons in the following missions, but I don't. So I am ridiculously underpowered now.
So it doesn't even let you spend iridium to keep them?
No. Because I'm dying that 3rd death before I exit the level, I don't get into the tunnel, so I never escape with the bounty.
Oh, no.
And how about this? That's terrible game design, Steve.
It's not ideal.
I don't care that I'm a terrible gamer. What I care about is that they haven't catered for me.
You just it's an accessibility option. You'd like to think that, if you've just collected it, I've got it.
I've unlocked it. Okay, I died and didn't make it back to the tunnels, but surely once I'm back in the tunnels with the quest completed, it just appears in the inventory. Surely.
But Troy, that's all part of the fun.
No, it's not. This game really does feel like a chore to me at this point. I'm pretty much done with Deathloop, and I think I've closed half of the story, or a bit more. I've probably
I reckon I'll go back to it maybe once I finish Far Cry, because I just prefer the stealth gameplay in Far Cry, just silence weapons, being able to take out things without being seen. I feel like you don't really have that option in Deathloop. I've got
100%
other options and stuff, but I just like being able to clear stuff without being seen. But it feels like you literally have to go loud at some point in this game, no matter what.
Yes.
That kind of takes away the whole. Yeah.
Do you have the thing, so in what games, Guardians, where I'm L3, R3ing and bring up photo mode constantly?
Yep.
Deathloop, I don't know what button I'm hitting, but I shoot, dodge left sometimes. Like, I'm just in a gunfight and I've just got a guy lined up and I'm trying to shoot him, like bang, and then he suddenly, whoop, I've gone left. So I don't know if it's like, am I clicking L3 and then tapping the right thumbstick? Is that a dash move? I have no idea how I'm doing it. He just randomly dashes left on me and I miss all my shots because I'm like, I've got it lined up, dash left, pull trigger, missed.
I'll have to do some fact checking for you, but yeah, it's been a while since I played it, but I can't recall any dash maneuvers. But you're doing something.
I'm doing something. I'm definitely doing something, and it's not the right thing. Of that you can be sure. I'm starting to suspect that in this sort of COVID, post-COVID, I don't know, whatever world we live in these days, I've got a feeling they've laid off at least half of the QA teams. Like,
they probably have.
Like, Deathloop is so buggy. Like, and I mean in that, like, principled game philosophy level, it's buggy. It's not like they had a great vision and then just didn't execute. It's like they had a bad vision and then executed poorly on it.
I am surprised it was getting so many, like the fact that IGN gave it a 10.
Outrageous. There is nothing in that game that suggests a 10. I would expect an honest review of this from IGN to be a 5.
Yeah, so
it's half the game. It deserves half the score.
That's right.
I will move on very quickly. This Deathloop, I don't think you'll see it again. I think it's going to get traded for Grand Theft Auto tomorrow or the day after, whenever GTA comes out.
Oh, we'll find out about that later.
Oh, of course we will. Of course we will. Moving on, though, the big news from today, Forza Horizon 5, I should say. Forza Horizon 5, what was it, about 3 o'clock this afternoon, I think, Steve? It appeared in Game Pass?
Yeah, I don't know when, because I just know that by the time I got home from work today, it was available to play. So,
relatively confident it was 3 p.m. Australian time, which is New York City's midnight, I believe.
Gotcha. That would explain it then. So probably just as well I wasn't home today to play it because I wouldn't have been able to play it.
It would have been a wasted day, my friend.
It would have.
But so I've done the install. It's 103 gigs, I think, from memory, 101.3. There was
that sounds about
right. So that's all I've seen. But Steve, have you gone hands-on with it?
I have gone hands-on with it. I've probably put in maybe, let's say, half an hour possibly, but already I am very impressed with this game. It starts out automatically.
Pump the brakes. What's your history with the Forza Horizon franchise?
Forza Horizon, I started with number 3, which was the Aussie one, which I really liked.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I think that had, I love driving the Warthog from Halo in that one. That was awesome. And just the fact that it was Australia, I loved the hell out of it.
Yeah, I love driving from, the 12 Apostles to the Gold Coast in 3 minutes. It was perfect.
It was great, wasn't it? Just like real life.
Yeah. And then, if you're not a local to Australia, that's a 2-day trip.
It is, yeah, but not in Forza Horizon. No. Thank God, because no one's got the time for that. Forza Horizon 4, it was sort of the way they sort of tweaked the ideas. I really liked the
now,
seasons.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Forza Horizon 4 with the stunt man? Were you the stunt crew?
Yes, they did the stunt crew stuff in that. That was all the sort of I really enjoyed those. I liked what they did with the seasons and stuff, and changing the world with the seasons was quite a great idea.
Yeah, I really love, and I know it wasn't first introduced in that, but I think they nailed it in number 4. Was those big moments like you racing a jet fighter or you racing a train. I love those in number 4. So I'm hoping number 5 delivers.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you this. So you're happy with mine. You can't really spoil a car game, can you?
Go for it, mate. I have no cares in the world. Tell me everything.
Oh, beautiful. So like the opening race you do, like you do in most Forza, they usually try and give you something big and bombastic. So your first race, you're sort of racing against this giant airplane that drops the cars out initially to race you. Then it drops motorbikes. Then you're racing these motorbikes throughout this like awesome Mexico City. Another thing.
Sorry, are you saying you're on a motorbike or you're in a car racing against motorbikes?
You're in a car. Yeah, you're in a car. Right. So you're racing and these motorbike guys are coming out. They're all jumping over things while you're sort of cruising through this giant aircraft over the top. And then you come down a jump. The guys jump off their motorbikes. They end up in wingsuits. You're racing guys on wingsuits.
It started to sound a lot like, what was it, Riders Republic? You were telling me
Riders Republic, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just like, this is nuts. I'm like, this is what I come to Forza Horizon for. Like, I could give absolutely 2 shits about playing Forza regular.
Yeah.
But Forza Horizon 5, this open world Mexico, like that was the only thing about Forza Horizon 4 I don't think I liked. I wasn't too keen on the Great Britain, England setting.
No.
Even though they...
no, I didn't. The small stone walls everywhere, I didn't like them.
Yeah, well, it seems Mexico seems to be the city to go to for games at the moment. I mean, you've got Far Cry. Far Cry is sort of heavily Mexico influenced. You've got Saints, the next Saints Row coming out, set in Mexico-ish type city as well. Forza Horizon 5. So,
was there a Tom Clancy in Mexico? I'm just trying to think. I'm like Wildlands and that they were fake countries, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, they were fake countries, but they're probably heavily themed by Mexico, I think, as well. It was,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but no, Forza Horizon 5, my God, this game is pretty. Like, I've got it playing, it starts out in quality mode, which is your 30 frames per second.
I gave 4K. Everyone the tip on the install on that one. I'm like, here you go, go change this to 60 frames.
Yeah, absolutely. And they say, like, it loses. Some people are like, I play Forza in quality mode because, it looks insane. But I'm like, I still can't drop to 30 frames.
No,
absolutely
you need that high frame rate for a car racing. Come on.
It just, absolutely. And it still looks absolutely good. This is still one of the best looking games I think I've seen come out for quite a while. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is only next gen, isn't it? I don't think this is out on old gen, is it?
I believe this is exclusive to the Xbox Series S and X, yes.
Yeah, and it absolutely shows. This game is absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that these guys are making the Fable game, I've got every faith that open world's going to look absolutely beautiful.
Wait a minute. These guys, as in, what are they called? Playground games?
Playground. They are in charge of Fable.
Is it do they have a second team, or have they just wrapped production on Forza 5 and now they're starting?
So I think they've got pre-production on Fable started while they're doing Forza Horizon.
My goodness.
And now they'll be thick into Fable, I believe.
Isn't that funny? Like, I would just assume if you were a game developer, you'd be like genre specific. Like, I'm the race car game developer. I'm the fighting game developer. I'm the shooter game developer. It's weird to hear like the same team jumping genres like that.
But you look at it, it's weird. Like Forza Horizon now is almost like an adventure game in a car. Like it's open world. You're trying to find stuff. Like the fact that you've got all this stuff going in the open world now as a car. Like they're kind of working their way towards that anyway in a strange kind of way. But
I always felt like when you got to the what do they call them? The shows, grand shows. What's the name? The events. The Horizon festivals.
Horizon events,
yeah. When you set those up, when you pull up in your car, I always thought it'd be cool if you jumped out of your car and got on a skateboard and put a little Tony Hawk's action in there.
Oh, I think that's the only thing I need to add is some kind of like out of vehicle stuff that you can just sort of walk around. Because even what's it called, Rise Republic allows you to just walk around if you're not on anything.
Well, I think you can walk around in at the Horizon events, can't you? I thought you could walk around on foot, but not. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? No, I'm wrong. I am wrong. It's a locked camera, and your avatar walks in, but it's not you controlling it. It's pre-packaged.
Well, this one actually. This one, your main character actually talks in this one, which is actually kind of good. I actually think that works more towards like character development stuff. They've got a bit to work on with their character. Like the cars look absolutely beautiful, but some of their characters don't look too great. So if they're going to build on Fable, hopefully they can work on their character animation.
They need to steal. Oh God, what are their names? Ember? Is it Ember? The developers of
G.E.A?
Yeah, they need to get the Ember guys involved in the human animation in Forza.
Oh, absolutely. If they use those guys for bloody Fable, they'd be doing well as well. I think I could imagine Fable looking very much like G.E.A.
Yeah, that could be I could definitely see that, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
hope someone in Microsoft's taking notes here. Steve's giving you great ideas.
It's great. But I'm hoping you can see Forza Horizon very soon because I think you'll be quite blown away with what they've done with it.
Yes, I need to. I'm going to have one last crack at Deathloop tonight before I go to bed. But when I get up tomorrow, I'm trading it in. So Deathloop will be gone. GTA will be on its way.
Beauty.
Oh, wait, is that Monday? Whenever it's released.
It's the 11th, yeah. So a couple of days.
Couple of days away. Friday or something. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, the other game we have. Oh, I've got to go back a page. Boom. Unpacking Steve. Now, we mentioned it was coming out last week in the What's Coming Out Next Week segment. I have not looked at it at all, mate. But do you know things? Tell me things. I hope you know something.
I do. It was weird because we sort of, I don't know if we ripped on it a little bit. It was like sort of what's this game about unpacking? But I saw it came to Game Pass. I'm like, it's only 500 meg or something to download. Why not?
Yeah.
And I didn't expect to play it for long, but I was like, I played it for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and was really getting into it.
Okay, mate. Hold on. So the only thing I've seen about this game is the front cover that's on screen now. So you have to tell me what type of game it is and how the gameplay operates.
Yeah. Okay. So it's OCD the game essentially. So you've got you've got this little sort of cursor that you move across the screen. You've got some paper boxes, as you can see here in the in your room. So it kind of tells a story about this. I think it's a female. She's like growing up. So your first room you do is like her kid's room, and then she moves into uni and does her first uni room. Then she gets her first apartment and stuff.
Should I be visualizing Sims? I'm imagining Sims right now.
You don't. There's no characters in it, so you've only just got this. You've got
like
kind of
first-person perspective of boxes.
It's not even first person; it's like a third-person isometric view of a room.
Right.
And then you click on the box, and then
point and click adventure style.
Yeah, kind of. So you're just clicking on the box, and then something random will come out of it. So I'll give you an example. So you're unpacking. So you click on a box, and a jumper will come out of it. So you open the cupboard door, and you can hang them on hangers, or you can fold them up and put them on. You've got books will come out. You can put them all on top of each other and put them in a shelf, or you can like stack them up next to each other on the other shelves. And they've got like it's all this art style pixel art kind of thing. But there's like little iPods that come out that you can put on a bedside table, or you'll unpack the computer. Then a separate box might have the keyboard and stuff. But
are the boxes labeled, or is it just like real moving where you've never labeled the boxes and the mystery box?
Yep, pretty much. So like you'll be unpacking stuff, all of a sudden you're like, oh, what's this? Is a toothbrush, and you hit like RB or LB, and you can switch rooms eventually. So you'll go to the bathroom, and you have to put the toothbrush and stuff in the bathroom. And if you get to the end a little bit, it'll tell you if you've got stuff in the wrong room, and you've got to try and fix it and stuff. But it's just like you can pretty much put stuff wherever you want in the room, but like you find yourself getting quite OCD about it, going, this needs to be here, this needs to be there. I need to put all the socks in a drawer together.
Are there any time constraints on you, or is it take your time?
Not at all. It's a very chill game, and just the click noise that it makes is very like. Even my wife walked in and watched me play. She goes, "What the hell are you playing?" But eventually, she's like yelling at me, "No, you got to put that here. That goes there. What are you doing? The pots don't go under the thing."
Is it 2-player? Were you able to flicker a controller and say you do better?
No, I did offer to hand her the controller and say, if you can do better, you do it. It's like, no, the washing detergent has to go under the sink. You put the pots above the thing. So it's actually quite a cute little game. And I think I spoke to you before. There was like some Australian Gaming Awards. It actually won Game of the Year for 2021 in this Indie Gaming Awards for the year. So It's actually a cute, very, very cute little game. Game Pass free,
Yeah.
If you got Game Pass and you want something fun just to sit there with the wife, partner, son, daughter, whatever, just have some fun with it. I think you'll actually find a cute little game there.
All right, so is this something I should try and organise maybe Colin to play with me at some point this week, and then we can report back next week?
Yeah, I reckon he might like it. I recken you get sort of, as I said, you expect to play it for a little bit, but you just get sucked into just the easy mechanics and just wanting to put certain things, certain places, and you just, I don't know. I just got sucked into it.
Sounds great, man. You've sold me on it. I'm definitely going to play this one. Let's install, I guess, coming this week on the channel.
Nice. Let's install 500 meg. That'll take Troy 30 seconds in there. Let's install.
Steve, how long did it take you to download Forza, mate?
I don't know because I started to install it yesterday. Let's go 22 hours.
43 minutes, baby.
I just so want to swear, but I won't.
43 minutes, and I was using the internet for other things at the same time.
I'm going to say it. Fuck you.
I'm going to call you ZX in the chat. Hello, ZX. How you doing, sir? Welcome. Now, what's next? That was unpacking. If I remember things correctly, Steve, next we have in the show, everyone, the standoff. Standoff.
Who will fight?
Who will fight? Today on the standoff, Steve, do you want to take this one?
I can take this one. So today in the standoff, we've got best GTA protagonist, just due to the fact that we've got the GTA remaster coming up this week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm also going to say we're going to play Troy Bingo during this round of standoff. I've sent Troy a text message of something I'm pretty sure I know he's going to say/do during this. If Troy says it, I'm going to say bingo. Troy's going to check his phone, and we're going to see if I'm correct during this standoff.
I love it, and I promise you, Steve, and everyone watching, I have not looked at my phone. He has SMS'd me, but I haven't looked. I got no idea what it says. So this will be fun.
So let's start. Who have we got as number one?
We have Claude.
I'm going to say that I had no idea what this guy's name was until I looked it up for the standoff. What are you?
You sent me the note. It's like Claude and then a link. And I'm like, who the hell is Claude? And I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, the GTA 3 bloke. I didn't even know he had a name.
Well, I was exactly the same. I'm like, okay, I guess they called him Claude. Awesome. I guess he is the most forgettable character in all the series. But
here's my question for you about Claude, Steve. Did he have any dialogue? I
don't believe he did.
Yes, I think he was mute, which is why we never knew his name. Yeah, silent protagonist.
No, that's right. But I mean, I can't fault Claude because I have to say, GTA 3 was the first time. It was probably one of the first times I remember thinking, "Oh my god, how are we doing this in video games where we've got this open world third person thing that we're playing?" And I was gobsmacked at this game when it first came out. So Claude gets a nod for the fact that he's the main character of a game that I was absolutely gobsmacked at the time with.
Definitely, man. It sounds like you had the exact same experience I had on the PlayStation 1 with the first Grand Theft Auto.
I think I played it was PC.
Top down, a very basic game by today's standards. But at the time, I remember playing that going, my God, gaming's never going to get any better than this. And then they went 3D on us.
And do you remember GTA 3 actually did have a top-down mode?
Did it? No. Was that a cheat code or something, was it? I had no idea.
No, it was a camera setting. You could literally play the game from top down if you wanted to.
Can I do it in the one that's coming out in a couple of days? Because that
is a good question. I don't know if they've kept that in there, but I hope they have because it was really. I probably won't play it that way, but the fact that you can do it's cool.
Yeah, hell yeah! I'd love to check that out. Now, which one's coming to Game Pass? It was. Oh,
it's
wait! I was going to say we'll get there in a minute. We'll work our way up. So Claude, fantastic. Shame he didn't say anything. And did anyone speak to him, or was it all that like for the audio, and you had to read it all maybe?
I reckon they did talk somehow, but you'll be stretching. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, anyone in the chat, if you're G.E.A. affiliate and you know exactly what's going on with G.E.A., please feel free to tell us.
I feel like the other, it was only ever one-on-one conversations and they were always monologues. Like you were just getting lectured to by various characters in the game when you were doing sport.
Yeah, that sounds right. So we'll say that Claude's probably not going to win this standoff, but he's not a bad character. Let's say that.
I certainly have played at least 100 hours of Claude. At least 100 hours I think I've spent in Claude's shoes. What are they?
100 hours with Claude, yet never knew his name was Claude.
Exactly. See, I don't read anything in video games. If you want me to remember,
that might make him the most. That could arguably make him the most memorable for not being memorable.
Indeed. And then we have, voiced by one of my favourite actors, Tommy Vercetti.
Ah, yes.
The old, I was going to call it San Andreas. It's not. It's Vice City, of course. Vice City, Tommy Vercetti. And he was voiced by Ray Liotta.
Absolutely. Tommy Vercetti, one of my faves. He's going to be at the top of the list by the end of it, I think. GTA Vice City, I have 100% of the game twice. I've found all 100 hidden packages twice.
Whoa, hardcore.
On two different consoles. Absolutely love that game. Love that character. I mean, he's a bit of a plus-size character compared to the other ones. He's got a bit of weight to him. But he's also...
I don't remember that at all. This shot we've got, it just kind of cuts him off before you tell.
It does, mate. He's sort of got one of those hourglass-shaped figures, but he's he means business. He always gets stuff done. He's one of my favourite characters. They're rocking that blue Hawaiian shirt as well.
Oh, gotta love the Hawaiian shirt, Steve. We need to get back in here for a tourist.
Oh, we do. Iconic shirt. I'll be happy if you get me a blue one. I'll go as Tommy Vercetti.
I love it.
Next tourist.
Isn't there a Grand Theft Auto coming out soon in VR, Steve? I think the stars are aligning on this one.
Oh, actually, no, you make a very valid point.
And you have the hardware, I believe, to support it.
I think I might just have the hardware to support it.
Oh, so sorry. I'll actually name it. It's the Oculus Quest 2 that he's got. And I believe I read that they pulled out the Facebook login requirements for the Oculus Quest 2. So suddenly it seems like a purchasable item if I had some disposable income.
Absolutely, it's now the metaverse quest.
Have you experimented with the login without Facebook, or have you not tried it since they've removed it?
No, I haven't tried. I don't
actually think they've implemented it yet. I think they just put it on a roadmap. I don't think they've pulled it out just yet. I think it's coming.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything just yet. I reckon I had it on probably last weekend. Maybe I reckon I didn't notice anything, but I don't reckon it's happened just yet.
I'll tell you who definitely didn't notice: Tommy Vercetti.
He had no idea that fella. He's from the 80s.
Great character. I love him. I think every time he talks, like it's Ray Liotta's voice, and every time I feel like I'm playing Goodfellas, and I love it.
Oh, love it.
He's got such an iconic voice, and he just nails it and takes it there every time. It's perfect. I love it.
Love it. Oh, he's top of the list. Who we got next?
Top of the list for the voice acting. Hey, yo, CJ! There he is! My man!
Bingo!
Oh, bingo time! Where is it?
Check your text.
Hey, yo, CJ! Indeed, Steve, you know me too well, sir.
Didn't take long.
As soon as I saw him, this is one game that I can't stream because for the entire stream it would just be me yelling, "Hey, yo, CJ!"
Yo, CJ. I love CJ as a character. He's one of the funniest, probably one of the funniest protagonists in a GTA. And obviously, San Andreas probably one of the best San Andreas characters going. Oh, one of the best GTA characters going around. So
now I won't give any spoilers, but the arc that CJ and Smoke, the other guy, his mate Smoke, the arc they take is still memorable. Like I'm talking about like Mass Effect level memorable story beats like you and Garrus.
Yep.
Like CJ and Smoke is totally a great like duo to see them through their narrative. It feels like I'm making it up, but I want to say it's like maybe 5 hours, like just the Smoke missions all up. Brilliant 5 hours. Absolutely. Play as CJ and go to all the Smoke missions first. They're the best. Oh,
now CJ
sorry, there is one thing you have to do before all of that in this game, and that's go to the casino and bankrupt yourself trying to make it big. You don't start, you treat the casino in GTA like Sasquatch, Steve. You go there first, you milk it for all it's worth, and then you go play the game without financial constraints.
Nice. I love it.
That's my tip to everyone. You get a 5-star wanted level when you enter the area with the casino, but as long as you get into the casino, you can gamble.
Oh, nice. Now, the first thing I do with CJ is go to the gym as much as I can and get him jacked as shit.
That's stop 2 for me. I go casino, then the gym, but I appreciate your stance.
Yeah, I've never had a fat CJ because he slows down and can't get over fences too easily once you do that.
I pushed him in all directions. I had ultra skinny, ultra fat, and ultra muscly.
Nice. Even the ultra muscly looks kind of weird. So I always had him just sort of that medium muscly filler, just to make him not look stupid.
It's the walking animation when he's particularly muscly. You're right. It doesn't look right. Do we know? I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see because I probably think this might be the first one I jump into when it comes out. Is for San Andreas, but
definitely CJ. I cannot go past CJ.
Yeah, so CJ's definitely up there. Who's next on our standoff?
Where are we? Next up, Nico Bellic. Nico Bellic.
Nico, but he's one of the most. He's a very unassuming protagonist. He's come to America just to better his life, but ends up in the world of organised crime and just goes about his business very quietly.
Yes, I like it. He's just the quiet, driven type.
That's right. I mean, he plays bowling with his brother. What's his brother's name again? What's his old meme, isn't it?
God, that's a
always calling him to go bowling.
Yep, he sure is.
He sure is.
And the bowling alley's right on the pier there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I can picture a beauty. I cannot think of his brother's name.
What is it?
I want to say Boris, but I think that might be racist.
It's definitely not Boris, but you're probably not far off. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Roman. Is it Roman?
Roman! I think you've nailed that. Yes. Roman sounds right. Roman Bellic. Yep. Yeah, Roman. Yep. Definitely Roman.
Definitely Roman. But no, I love GTA 4. I thought it was such a good story. But Nico Bellic, I think it was quite a while between GTA. Was it GTA San Andreas and GTA 4?
Yeah,
I think there was quite a big gap.
I want to say at least 5 years, but maybe 8.
And that's when they started using the new ragdoll physics and stuff in that game, I think, as well, which I think was the only game that used that. I think they had the same. I can't try to remember the. They had a name for the ragdoll physics in that game. I can't remember what it was.
I've no idea.
No, can't think of it. But Nico was a fun character, I thought. But
now, my favourite set of missions in GTA 4 were the ones with the Irish fighting family. I can't remember the names, but once again, there's like a 5-hour arc with this one
Yep.
Irish family that Nico does a bunch of jobs for the different family members, and that's like, go play that. I think it's maybe a third.
Oh,
Two-thirds or something into the game. It's a bit, yeah. But it's awesome. When you get there, you're in for a real treat. I absolutely love it.
We love Nico. He's probably not quite up there with CJ, but he's definitely a very good G.E.A. protagonist.
Yeah, I'd slot him right under old mate Tommy Vassetti, I reckon.
Yeah, nice.
And then fifth and finally, Grand Theft Auto 5, we've got the trifecta, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. It's an each-way bet.
That's right. Well, I mean, we could have split them up, but I mean, you are playing the game effectively as all three. It's sort of pretty even intervals, I think. So it's safe to call them the character of the game, apart from the actual world itself, which is probably the main character. But did you have a favourite out of those three?
Definitely Trevor. Trevor to me is the Rocket equivalent, the angry little man. I find that character so appealing, like just entertaining to watch.
So unpredictable. You never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth or what he's going to do. He's definitely one of those memorable G.E.A. characters ever created.
I can't even remember how or why, and I think it's like maybe the intro of the character or the second mission, but don't you wake up in the desert in just your underwear at one point? Like early on, it's like such a great tone-setting piece for the character.
And it becomes quite a theme. I think you cross back to him quite a few times, and he's just either somewhere random or no clothes. You're like, oh, God, Trevor, he's at it again.
Well, I switched back to him once, and I remember he was at the gates of that cult place.
Oh, yes.
He's
that's right.
Yelling abuse at the people. I'm like,
oh, love it.
I love, like, just that they nailed that those characters had their own lives and that you were interrupting, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
They did it really well. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think if you had to pick sort of a weak link out of the three, it's probably Franklin, because I think Michael's quite a good character with his whole family dynamic, the fact that he's an ex-crook, ex-robber.
And how can you go past the mission where his son drugs him?
Oh, it's so good.
I love that mission. That is my favourite mission in GTA 5.
Yeah, the son that sounds exactly like Seth Green but isn't Seth Green.
Yes. That guy's great.
But no, all three all up. I think actually, to go to a GTA and have three different protagonists, I think they actually did that very, very well.
Well, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking back, and Tommy Vassetti aside, I'm going to say that, like, every Grand Theft Auto character is a third of a character, and it just happens to be that in number 5, they put 3/3 together and made a whole.
No, true. That's probably true. Because like you couldn't have just
it's like the others' characters feel like a piece of paper. They've only got one dimension and forget about it. But the GTA 5, by bouncing between those different sort of living arrange, like your family, you're a single guy or a young guy up and coming, like they really made it feel like something. Whereas
they really did.
Claude, for example, had no feel at all. Like he was just pure avatar.
No. Absolutely. Although that could be something said about that, because you put yourself in that. If he's not talking and stuff, you can kind of put yourself in that role and say, "I'm playing as that person."
That's true.
But I know it's who are we going to give? Who are we going to give the win this week?
Well, I think you've almost got to give it to the three characters in Grand Theft Auto 5 because of that point.
Almost do.
You've kind of got to take the game as a whole almost, and like the other games have really strong moments, but I feel like Grand Theft Auto 5. Every second mission was good or better, you know.
That's right.
And it's the character dynamics that sell the mission. Sorry, I should elaborate.
No, that's right. I reckon we've got that. We're not going to have it. Oh, yo, CJ for the win.
CJ, where is it? There he is. Hey, yo, CJ. Oh, can't wait to get my hands back.
All right, let's give it to GTA 5, Trevor, Michael, and Franklin.
GTA 5 has it. And we'll be visiting the other three next week. Oh, God, I can't wait to get my hands on it, Steve.
Oh, mate, I can't wait.
Is it a day one purchase for you, or have you already purchased?
No, I'm tossing up whether to go Xbox or PlayStation, to be honest. I haven't quite decided yet.
Oh, big one. I had someone message me. Sorry, this is a total aside, but I had a viewer request the Riders Republic install from a physical disc on the Xbox, Steve. And my question for you is, have they got crossplay enabled? If I get Riders Republic on Xbox, are we still going to be able to play together?
We absolutely are, my friend.
Well then, consider it done.
Crossplay, cross progression as well.
Oh, that's interesting. That's surprising for a new game, but I'm all for it. Go for it. Now it's time for the news. If I remember where I put the news opener, it's here somewhere. There's news. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Story 1 from Geek Tyrant. Headline reads, New Elden Ring narrated gameplay trailer. I have not viewed this at all. Oh, that's a total lie. I viewed it mute. It's the narrated part that caught me because I didn't watch it with the sound up.
Hey, there you go. What did you think of it?
I loved it. I didn't know why the dragon had feathers. That was perturbing. But other than that,
but,
it was great.
They've now said that dinosaurs had feathers, so maybe that's what they're leaning towards, realism.
Do they have a fossilized dinosaur feather somewhere that I can see?
Well, I don't know, but apparently it's a new thing in schools where dinosaurs have feathers. So,
show me one. Show me one.
It's like apparently we know what dinosaurs sounded like. No one was there to hear a dinosaur friggin' scream at us, were they?
I don't buy that either.
Back to Elden Ring. This gameplay, like, I'm pretty excited by this. This is looking pretty good.
This is looking so good. The only concern I've got is that now that I've finished Far Cry 6, I'm a little bit worried about, I hope, and I have no information, I'm just hoping that in the open world they haven't totally Ubisoft it, because that'd suck. If it turns into a checklist game, like, to me, the appeal of the Dark Souls or Soulsborne series is their lack of direction, is the mystery. So
I reckon they'll do it right. I've got a feeling they're going to do it right. Looking from what I've seen, like, they've got a lot of I saw there was like a tomb thing where they go inside, which looks a bit more Dark Souls-y, sort of, you're going through dark corridors and stuff as well. And you've got the open world stuff as well where you can tackle stuff. I think the difficulty is still going to be there. It looks like you've got co-op as well, which is going to be hopefully easier to do. So we can like have co-op streams where you're not just like, you die and you're out.
Is it not just like typically in Soulsborne games, they're like limited spaces where you can have a co-op partner, but it almost sounded like you're suggesting that we could partner up for the whole game?
It almost looks like that. Like looking back on this trailer, I was like, it looks like you team up with a partner to take on this boss. I'm like, it looked
cool.
like that partner could be just available just to play as a co-op game. So I'm like, if that's the case, that would be amazing.
I love the sound of that. I hope that's accurate. That could be real cool. But yes, I'm a big fan of all the FromSoft games, and I can't wait for this one. And yes, the trailer just made me more excited. And yeah, just a slight bit of caution, like 2% caution. I hope we don't pop it up and they'll be like, unlock 15 bonfires, enter all 6 zones or whatever. Like, I do not want to read that breakdown, in objectives at all.
Yeah,
I certainly hope they don't Ubisoft that one. That would suck.
No, but the game's going to be still due out February, I believe. So
yes, February 25th.
February is packed, but this is probably going to be towards the top of the list for February games, I think.
I bet by the time we get to February, it won't be packed, Steve.
No, true.
They'll just delay, and then it'll be March, and then April.
Yep, I think so too.
All right, now news story. Oh, look out. Here's what the GTA trilogy looks like on the Nintendo Switch, thanks to IGN. Running this story, pocket-sized Claude, Tommy, and CJ. Hey, yo, CJ!
Hey, yo, there it is again. There we go. Bingo!
Look, there he is!
I believe it's coming out on Switch. I think Switch is getting a
cloud version?
Actual physical release on December 7th, I think.
But surely it's a cloud game. Oh, unless, I could totally believe they got the original ones running on a Switch, but surely if they've up-res them all for the, Series X and the PS5, surely it's not those versions running on the Switch.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The Switch has been capable of running, what was it? It was a Ubisoft game.
Well, they did, the Witcher 3's on there, and
Hitman's
on there, and they're all running on the cloud. So it's just odd to me that if it is running on the cloud, why do a physical release?
Yeah, well, it probably isn't. So, I reckon it's probably going to be capped at 30 frames, but I'm pretty sure the next-gen ones, we're getting all 60 frames per second, but I think it may be capped at 30 frames on the Switch.
Can the Switch even hold a constant 30?
Who knows? Who knows?
They can do it in the Mario games, but I've never seen a non-first-party Mario game running at 30, like a constant 30 on a Switch.
Nah, so I mean, it definitely wouldn't be my first choice for playing the
No.
remaster. But if you want to take G.E.A. on the go on an aeroplane or whatever, by all means, get it on the Switch. But I didn't even realize it was coming out on the Switch, so I was just surprised to see that. But
no, I'm shocked. I had no idea it was coming to the Switch.
Yeah, so that's why I chucked that news story in there, just to get a heads up. Anyone does just have a Switch, just let you know you can still get the game. I don't know if it's digital on Switch as of the 11th as well, but definitely you're getting physical release. I don't think we're getting physical release on PS4 until the December 7 as well. So
what? I was planning to go into the shop and buy one in 2 days. Are you telling me I can't?
I think it's digital only for the 11th.
Really? That really sucks.
It really does, because I know you've still got your original trilogy hard copy.
What? The original trilogy hard copy?
I'm hearing some flustering around going, are you finding it?
This one, you mean?
That could be it. That could be it.
Yes, I have held on to it for years, and I would have held on to its brother for years as well, but apparently you tell me I'm not going to be able to buy it. That's devastating.
You'll get a digital one. I know you will. When are you going to get it on? What do you reckon?
Well, I will always lean towards the PlayStation for the double trophy list. Assuming it's got PS4 trophies and PS5, I'm going to get it on PS. But if it doesn't have dual trophies, I'll be getting it on the Xbox. Just for hard drive space.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a PS4 game playing on the PS5, so I think it'll just be PS4 trophies.
Oh, I honestly thought they were getting a next-gen release. Man, I am uninformed on this one. Or I've been misled by the marketing, I think is more to the point, because I have been watching. At least I thought I had. Halo Infinite multiplayer designer, yep, I've read that right, joins Respawn for a new Star Wars project. Now, is this the Respawn? Is that where Amy Hennig ended up?
No, this is the Jedi Fallen Order guys that did the first game.
What's his name? Frank Zampello? No, his mate.
Yeah, this will be the sequel to that, I believe he's joining. So yeah, that sounds right.
John Romero, I think.
Yeah, fact check us if you like, chat. But
I'll scroll down to the story. IGN may have written it. Oh, it's not IGN.
Yeah,
sorry, this one's GameSpot.
Yeah, so I believe, like, the fact that he's left 343, they've just wrapped up with Halo, so he's obviously joined the Star Wars gang. So going from Halo to Star Wars is probably a pretty easy transition, I'd say. So whether that means I don't know, he's multiplayer designer. So whether that means we're going to see some multiplayer in the next Respawn Star Wars game, I hope not, because I really like the Star Wars single player game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game was great. I absolutely love that game. And I've been meaning to get back into it on the Xbox Series X. I think I've put an hour into the Xbox version, but I really do want to play it. There's so many new games.
Oh, I know. That Star Wars game had a very similar thing like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, no one sort of gave it any sort of chance to be
that's good.
It just came out, and it was just a very good Star Wars game, just like Guardians came out. It was a very good Guardians game. So, I'll be looking forward to the sequel, and the fact that he's jumped ship. I just hope they're not sort of going, we're going to do some multiplayer with it, because I really just want a good Star Wars single-player game.
Yes. Well, it says he's the senior encounter designer.
Oh, so that could translate to single player, possibly?
It could be, unless, of course, they mean encounter as in multiplayer dungeon, in which case, no, they certainly don't.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so that's that. So he's in the Halo. Do we have a year even for the Star Wars project? Have they yeared it?
No, I don't think they have. I reckon we'll probably look in 2023 at least. The fact that we haven't seen anything on it yet, I'd say we're probably...
If they've just hired the senior encounter designer, I would think we're more like 4 or 5 years off it.
Yeah, potentially. Well, the other one came out to 2019, I want to say.
Yes, but you've got to remember, mate, production's running at half speed now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Remote working.
No, you're right. I'm going to say summer 2024.
I reckon you'll be lucky to see this before 2025, mate.
Oh, cool. Let's fact check that later in the freeze time.
Make a note of this, and somebody play this clip back to me in 5 years, and I can laugh at myself for being so foolish.
Absolutely.
Speaking of being foolish, new Mass Effect teaser hints at the return of the Geth. Oh, what? I thought we dealt with the Geth invasion, Steve.
I thought we did too, but I think they just want to appeal to the fan base of Mass Effect and take Mass Effect back to when it was good.
Do you think, how many Mass Effect fans do you think are still in existence? Like, back in the day, I was a huge Mass Effect fan. I enjoyed my time earlier in the year, but just because they've announced a Mass Effect sequel, I'm just going to assume it's Andromeda quality and wait for the reviews.
Absolutely right. I think what's sort of built up some hype is the fact they did the remasters sort of this year of the Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and from what I've read, they've actually sold. They've actually sold better than they expected. So,
yes,
which is good for Mass Effect. So.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I understand where they're coming from. I'm just saying you got to do a lot more than show me a couple of graphics to get me excited about a game that's this early in development.
No, absolutely. Some people have said that the explosion looks like the Geth. You've got like a big character there. Looks like he's probably like potentially like a Rex type character as well. But the ship doesn't look like Normandy, so who knows what's going on there. But they dropped this just for some hype. I'm sure there's plenty of fanboys out there ripping this poster to shreds with potential stuff that's going on. But do
we know where this takes place with respect to the Commander Shepard trilogy? Before, after, during?
No idea. I don't think I've said any of that. There's hints there could be a Shepard involved, but I think I'm just going to say it now that I think they've got a bit to work on if they want to, the characters and stuff to work towards something like Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think that's absolutely perfected character interactions this year.
Yeah, I hope that whatever they've done for Mass Effect, they totally rework in the style of Guardians.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're back at BioWare, they're pretty good at making games. They've fallen off the pedestal.
Well, they were. When was the last time they came out with a good one, though?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, the fact they they did the remasters, I'm pretty sure, but that's old games making them shiny again. It's not Anthem or Mass Effect Andromeda, which were massive flops. So they need to let more than just talk the talk. They need to walk the walk, and we'll have to wait and see, because I think Mass Effect's again another game that's probably quite a fair bit away.
Yeah, and this is where you want to see an Amy Hennig type name attached to it. You want to see someone who's nailed a single-player story in the past. You want to see their name associated with the project now.
Absolutely. So, mate, we'll see. We'll wait and see. 2026 probably for Mass Effect, so we've got a while to wait.
2029, you heard it here first. All right, and now our favourite part, the end of the news segment where we do new releases coming out this week, as brought to you by the Gaming Informer. What are they, a website, magazine? I don't know what they officially refer to themselves as. I'll call it a website. Top of the list, Airborne Kingdom, coming to everything, released today, apparently, but I know nothing.
I know nothing as well, so we'll move on to the next one.
Disney Classic Games Collection. Oh, it's the Lion King and Aladdin. I hope they're the classic ones from the PC back in like 92, 94, somewhere around there. I enjoyed those games. I enjoyed those games back then. I don't know if that hold up today, though.
I don't think they do, and I remember them being very, very hard as well. So
they were insanely hard, but very short. Once you mastered it, you got to the end pretty quick.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no. So unless they come into Game Pass, I'll probably give that a miss.
Yeah, totally. I remember playing it at the time in the 90s and thinking this was made for the arcade. Like they want you to just be putting dollar after dollar in, And so short and difficult.
Yes, pretty much.
And
there's your review.
And then we have Football Manager 2022. That came out today, and I'll let everyone know the Let's Install for that one is already up on Geek Aloud. You can check that out if you're interested. And I can tell you it was, I think, 4.5 gig maybe.
Nice.
Little small install, and it looks very much spreadsheety. If you're a big fan of Excel, I reckon this one might be worth checking out.
So 0% of our audience, I love it.
Certainly 0% of my interest. And then the big one. Now, here is where my eyes lay. Forza Horizon 5. We already discussed it earlier, but of course it came out today. What a
absolutely.
title.
Game Informer 9.5. IGN gave it a 10, and it's worth all the scores it's getting from as well I'm concerned so far. So
it's very good. It's not an IGN Deathloop 10?
No, it's definitely deserved of a 10.
Very good. Gotta love that. Oh, cannot wait to sink my teeth into that one. Now, next up, Jurassic World Evolution. This also came out today, November 9, big day for video game releases. Jurassic World Evolution 2 came out on everything. I know nothing. Steve?
All I know is they've clearly got their facts wrong, because that T-Rex doesn't have feathers on the cover. So, wrong.
Wrong! Big stamp. Doc, like, Game Informer have given them an 8. I think they've got to take it down to at least a 7 for missing the feathers.
Damn straight. Come on, guys, get your facts right.
Get it together, guys. Then next up, we have Among Trees, only on PC. You think that would be called Among Silicon. but no.
Yes,
Next
no.
up, we have Bright Memory Infinite. No idea. PC only. Not sure. Kind of looks like a Sega spin-off off that cover to me. You know, the, what do you call it? Yakuza. It looks like the Yakuza Judgment cover to me.
Does, but I think it's a first-person shooter. I think there's a version of it free to play in early access on the Series X when the Series X first came out, if I believe I'm correct.
Wow, okay. I've never heard of it, so this is all news to me. That one is November 11th, but also on November 11th, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy. Here's a question for you, though, Steve. Oh, no, it says here, man, Xbox Series X and PS5. We're all good. Stand down, everyone. We're fine. Looks like I'll be able to get the PS4 version, and then hopefully it's free, but maybe they'll sting me $10. Like, who did that? Activision, Call of Duty, $10. I didn't like it. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, I love that. Can't wait till the 11th. Big ups for that one.
Almost there.
And then Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now, I know there are a lot of gamers out there who praise this game. I remember trying to get into this. I want to say it was, what year did this come out? It feels like late 2008, maybe?
Oh, yeah, it'd be around then.
I reckon I put 2 hours into it whenever it did come out, call it 2008, and it just did not click with me. I've seen the first, 2 hours of the game, and as I understand, it's like a 60-hour, behemoth.
Big game.
Yeah, but it never sunk its teeth into me. Have you looked at it ever, Steve?
Pretty sure I finished it and number 2 back in the day.
So you're a fan then?
Yeah, I think I liked it. I can't remember much about it at all because I was watching a podcast and they were talking about the massive twist and I just couldn't remember it. So, but I've definitely finished it. So it clearly stuck with me.
Well, it never stuck with me, but I'm willing to give it another crack. Probably not November 11th, but if that one ends up in, that's got to be EA, doesn't it?
Well, that's the one they're remastering. They're doing the Nice Sort of Heroic remaster anyway, which is going to be much better to play. So I'll wait till that comes out.
Yes, and I'm betting when that does come out, it'll be in Game Pass. And, 2 thumbs up. I'll definitely get into it.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, this one had me scratching my head a bit earlier. I was looking at this. What do you think the sales figures will be for this release of Skyrim?
Well, I don't know, because this game's released like 400 times now. So.
I know, surely it can't move millions of units anymore. Surely not.
I wouldn't have thought so. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Didn't they release it on...
They released it last gen.
Yeah, there was...
Like, it came out on the 360, and then they remastered it and brought it back out on the Xbox One.
Didn't they release it on Alexa or something as well?
Oh, yeah. It was the Amazon. What do they call the Amazon? Is it Fire or is it Alexa? Yeah, it's one of those. The Amazon Talk to Assistant jobby. Yes. Yeah, and that started as an April Fool's joke some years ago.
Yes, it did.
They cut it as an April Fool's joke, and then everyone wanted to buy it, and they went, "Okay, well, we'll make it then."
Which is quite funny, but
hilarious. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. So if this is in Game Pass now, who owns? This is Bethesda, which Xbox owns. So surely this is going to be in Game Pass.
I would have thought so. The current Skyrim is so.
Yeah, so I reckon I'll fire it up. I'll see the opening dragon scene. I'll walk down the mountain.
For the 50th time,
yeah. I'll walk down the mountain, get the first of my 3, blessing stones, I think. And then I'll walk into town. The name's escaping me. And then I'll turn it off and never play it again.
That pretty much sounds like most of my Skyrim playthroughs.
I think I've played it through to completion twice. I think I did it on the 360 and the PS3 back in the day.
Yeah, I reckon I finished it on the 360 back in the day as well. So I have finished it, so you can't come at me for never playing it past that part ever again.
Did you play it on PlayStation or Xbox? My question is, did you platinum it?
Definitely did not platinum it.
Some of those DLCs were monstrous. Wasn't there like a 40-hour DLC? One of the packs, I think, was 40 hours, something crazy. And it had like 4 achievements. No.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, no.
And then, Steve, do you want to have a crack at pronouncing this last one on the list? It is way outside my skill set.
Right, this one is Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Nailed it. I love it.
I believe it's made by the guys that do Persona 5, all those guys. Same one, same developer.
Yeah. Yep. Their name
is it Deck 9?
God, I'm going to click now. I'm going to click and look. It's not sounding 100%.
Atlas. Yeah, Atlas is the developer, publisher. Oh, yeah, developer.
Ah, yes. Cool.
Yeah, so they're the ones that do Persona. From what I heard this morning, actually listening to podcasts about this, it's very, very niche market that are going to enjoy this game. It definitely doesn't quite have the appeal of a Persona, etc. So if you like Persona 5, you may not like this game, but again, Persona's not on Switch. This is only coming out on Switch. So if you want something that's like that, maybe you get it.
Or pick up a Vita and play Persona 4 Golden, I want to say
good game.
Solid game. Was like 4 months ago, I think that one was. Oh, not 4 months ago. Gosh, I'm sure they included it in PlayStation Plus within the last 2 years.
Yep, they did. Definitely did.
Perfect. I'm glad I'm not making stuff up. I was sure that was real. That was a real memory, right?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
And that is the end, of course, of the news segment. Where does that bring us to, Steve?
I think that brings us to end of questions or end of watch.
Oh, we've got a question here. Oh, I love this question. I failed to include the author's name. I apologize. Maybe I'll attribute this to you, Sean. Let's say this question came in from Sean. He's asking, Sean wants to know, Steve, our favorite implementation of the DualSense so far.
Favorite implementation?
Krieg 9. I
was going to say the Krieg. It's gonna be, I still think Astro's Playroom when it first came out probably does the best things with the controller.
Yes, no, great call, man. You've nailed that.
I still don't think, but I also really like Returnal's use of it as well. I think the way the guns and stuff work with the half pull of the trigger and the way the rain feels and sounds in the controller is also quite nice.
I can't remember now, but didn't Control do something cool with the DualSense as well?
Control had stuff going on as well. I think it was gun stuff, or different guns felt different.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, the different trigger resistance. That's right.
Yeah, but I still think Astro's Playroom probably does. It's the most biggest showcase for the PlayStation 5, and no one sort of used it sort of beyond its normal capabilities, like bows, for like pulling back a bowstring, like they've always said. But Astro, just like it had little pitter patters of like water, like the fact that you had the springs that you could shoot, and it actually felt like a spring in your controller. Yes. I think that's so the potential's there, but the fact that it drains the absolute hell out of your controller, turning those things up, and the fact that Troy's fingers can't deal with it. So
I was just about to say, man, I've gone back a few times just for some brief stints of Hitman 3. I'm dilly-dallying around that I can still get that platinum before the year's out.
You can do it.
Maybe. But the point is, going back to Hitman 3 confirms that is the number one perpetrator of old man hands for me. If I play that game for more than an hour, I know all about it the next day. And it is, man, it's the sprint on L1 and the detective vision on R1 that does it. And then I thought, I'm like, I've got this. I'll go into the controller config and change from hold to just a tap. Like if it's tap on, tap off, that's going to be real easy on my fingers. I'm not going to get sore the next day. Yeah, that's not an option in the menus.
No. Now, Troy, you mentioned platinuming Hitman 3. Talking of platinums, do you have an update for the viewers?
Do you mean that's not it? Find that button. Fantastic game, such a good game. I am fighting tooth and nail for it game of the year. But I captured the way I finally popped the platinum after reading this morning on a Reddit thread. Somebody had detailed if you take the console offline and then jump through a few hoops that you'll pop it. Sure enough, followed it step by step, and I was recording at the time. I just assumed it was going to work and recorded the video as though I knew it was going to work. Had no idea. But that's in the can. So it all worked out in the end, and I've got all the footage there. It's just a matter of slapping it together. It should be up on the channel tomorrow, definitely tomorrow. But you'll be able to check it out. So you do get to see my final reaction when I got that platinum.
There it is. Round of applause, everyone. He's finally done it. He's joined the Geek Aloud alumni in Returnal Platinums, which is just the two of us now, but we've done well.
And is now, Steve, I'll share this with you because I know I've prepared it, but this is warning for you, mate. You've got to get hold of yours for next week. Here's my stats. Here is the screenshot of my stats post-platinum. It was 7 days, 9 hours, 36 minutes, and 6 seconds, 661 deaths.
Jesus, yeah, it's a lot. Yep, I'm definitely nowhere near that. But you must have next week, and we can compare.
Yes,
compare the pair. The meerkat.com.au.
We'll be able to mathematically work out how much better of a gamer you are than me, Steve.
Yeah, like a fair bit. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, indeed it is. But watch out for that video tomorrow, guys. I cannot wait to edit that video together and release it. I'm really happy with it. So keep your eyes, please, on the channel for that one tomorrow. But that's going to do it for this episode of Gaming Enforcement Agency. Thank you very much for joining us with it. Who do we have in the chat there, Steve?
We've got Sean Games. We've got myself early on. Congratulations, Steve. Well done. Thanks for being there. We've got Mr. AK says, hi, Troy. What's this meeting?
It's Mr. AK. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. I think it's been about 2 weeks. This is called the Gaming Enforcement Agency. This is episode 6. So there's 5 others you can check out as well if you enjoy it. Just a news, weekly news chat about video games. That's it, mate.
That's it. We had ZX in there also saying g'day, so thanks ZX for dropping by.
ZX, thank you very much, sir. And Steve, buddy, thank you for joining me this evening, mate.
No worries, mate. My pleasure. We'll do it again next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, it'll definitely be next Monday. Bang on 8 o'clock. You can just sit there at 7:59. Bang, as soon as 8 o'clock hits, we're up. It's happening.
Mate, no question.
All right, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Like it, subscribe it. You'll never miss it. Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. I love everything about it. Ooh. Old Uncle Donkey.
Donkey.